So let's go over some of the do's and don'ts of web page building. So first off, we want to make sure that we're protecting our students. No student should be pictured without written parental permission, not the opt-out that we have in the student handbook. It should be more specific than that. No student work should be used or pictured without written permission of the student and the parent. Students might not like their work shown, and parents as well. They don't want the digital footprint on their student. No student last names should be used on any GFPS web pages. Again, that's to protect our students. We also want to protect ourselves from spammers and scammers. Goodness knows we already know that we get so much spam, we don't need any more. So here's the rules on that. You don't want to type in the email address anywhere or phone numbers, because the robo spammers go out and collect that information. Anything that can be highlighted and copy and pasted, so if you type it in, it can be highlighted. So instead, what you could do is use a graphic. You could type everything in Microsoft Word and then use the snipping tool to cut it out, or the other way is just to use the contact form in Weebly by dragging and dropping the contact form in there, and then the email and the phone number are not apparent. You also don't want to use the email link, otherwise spammers are going to harvest that information. The other thing we want to do is make sure that we're respecting ownership. We need to give credit where credit is due. We don't want to use copyrighted materials, and just using a simple Google search produces copyrighted images. So what do we need to do? We need to ask permission to use an item that we put on the web page. If you need to use a picture, use Microsoft Clip Art, find it, and then you can right-click on that and save it as a JPEG to the desktop and upload it. Or you can use the Google Advanced Search and filter by license to free to use or share. Be sure to use the caption area to give credit if required, and it will tell you on the Google images whether you need to cite the source or not. You want to aim for good design. One of the things that a lot of people do is put in really large type or cutesy looking type that's hard to read. If the type is really large, then it's not very professional looking, and people get the scroll of death. They have to scroll down to find your information. If you keep everything all above the fold, as we call it, so people don't have to scroll, they'll be sure to see your information. Instead, use additional pages or links to further information. You want to avoid too many lists, break them into columns, or put on multiple pages. You want to keep your photos facing into rather than off of your web page, so it draws the reader into the content. And avoid dark backgrounds. Light type on a dark background is often hard for people to read. Some people kind of get dizzy or can get headaches from reading too much type on a dark background. Hope that helped you work with your Weebly web page.